orcs have been repelled, and their war boss has been defeated. But this war is far from over. The orcs still threaten to overcome several major population centers, and could mass more than a large enough force to overwhelm the Imperial armies present on the planet. We have bought time, nothing more. But this is no longer a primary concern. Our scouts have recovered evidence that the forces of chaos, the great enemy, may be operating on this planet, right under our very noses. We must face this foe wherever they stand. If there is even a chance that they are here, we must seek them out and destroy them. Inquisitor Toth is demanding that we leave the planet, but of all the powers his position grants him, commandeering a space marine company is not one of them. I must admit that I find his presence unwelcome so soon after the events on my homeworld of Cyrene. Inquisitors have a way of inflaming a guilty conscience, and that I do not need right now.
Yes. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to Let's Play Dawn of War, where Inquisitor Toth has arrived and told Gabriel and his chums to GTFO of this planet. And obviously we're not particularly happy with that. And the forces of chaos are here. But we already knew that, you know, through our omniscient cutscene viewing knowledge and all that. But nevertheless, now the Blood Ravens are aware of it. And, well, presumably we're going to try and do something about it. So, let's start. Oh my, yeah. Look at all that red. Lots more orcs. We killed their war boss, but orcs being what they are, they'll after a brief period they'll find a new one. That's for sure. And there's more of them coming, because there's a fight to be had. And orcs, gosh, they do love a fight. There's a fight to be had. More and more and more of them will arrive. Honestly, the best way to deal with orcs is to just retreat and not fight them. In truth. But the Imperium doesn't see it that way. Anyway.
This warp storm could trap us here for a month or for a century. We cannot risk staying here. We must evacuate Tartarus before it arrives in 3 days' time.
The Imperial Guard and Holy Fleet can attend to the evacuation. The Blood Ravens have more pressing matters to contend with.
Such as?
I believe agents of chaos have taken strong root here.
I sense no taint here. Even so, were there a chaos presence on Tartarus? It is better we leave them here with the orcs than waste more lives fighting them. We could wish no worse fate for either of our enemies, and to be trapped with the other. But we must leave here now.
That is a matter for my brothers and I to decide. We will use these 3 days to settle our affairs and satisfy our suspicions. Meanwhile, you have our transports to facilitate evacuation.
Colonel Brom, the captain and I must attend to matters of faith. If you would leave us, please.
But surely this involves me as a...
Forgive me for not being clear on the matter. I said please, when in fact I meant now.
This does involve him. You should have shown him a modicum of respect.
Captain, you uncovered extensive heresy on your home world. Cyrene, was it?
That has nothing to do with the events here on Tartarus.
But I believe they do. You requested the Inquisition undertake an exterminatus, the destruction of your planet's entire populace, which we obliged.
I still fail to see...
Captain, I am not questioning your loyalty, but I must wonder if your actions on Cyrene have not affected your judgment. Perhaps that was a poor choice of words. I merely fear that you might see chaos but it does not exist. I ask that as a loyal subject of the Emperor, you serve the Imperium's interest before your own agenda.
Captain, that Inquisitor had no right to speak to you in such manner. But perhaps he is right. The coming storm will trap our enemies here, where they can consume one another.
And what if the forces of chaos escape the system before the storm? No. We will not use this freak occurrence as an excuse to avoid our enemies, or our responsibility. They are here for a reason, and we will discover that reason.
We are with you, brother Captain, as always.
The humans are coming your way in full force. You should hear their heavy feet long before you see them, and smell them long before that.
Orbital Command has indicated the dropship landed in this general proximity. We've discovered a path, Captain. It's obvious someone has been digging here.
Cut by orcs?
I've never seen an orc lend such a careful hand to a task.
If it wasn't orcs, then it must be the forces of chaos. We will follow this path and discover the truth behind what has transpired here.
And so it begins, folks. It's a long bloody cutscene. Right.
The sacred artifact will now be available to us. Construct it, and we will have access to powerful abilities.
That is a building he's talking about, the sacred artifact. Allows us to
Gathering
research
intelligence.
things.
None can stand before the Inquisition.
Right, so as you can see, we've got Mordecai here as well.
What is it you desire?
And Colonel Brom
I will see that it happens.
as additional characters to play with. So, let's get doing some basic base building-y stuff. Oh, right, we've already got plasma generators. We are going to need those. Oh, yes, we will. And yes, there's someone else here other than us and Chaos observing us. More on them later, I think.
At your command.
Direct us to the enemy.
Oh,
Yes, my
we'll
lord.
put your rally point down here, shall we? So you're not disappearing into the trees every time I recruit a new unit.
Moving out.
That would be silly.
My knowledge is at your disposal.
Right.
This day shall be
I
a
am
glorious
ready to
one
pass
for the
judgment.
Imperium.
What is it you desire?
Let's stick Colonel Brom in a scout
Colonel
squad,
Brom taking command.
because then I can use his rally ability. And the scout squad will give you sniper rifles. Why not?
Direct us to the enemy.
You guys, heavy bolters, I
Heresy
think.
grows from idleness.
And heavy weapon increase.
Yes, Lord.
And we're going to need, let's see. Need 250 requisition. Right, yeah, requisition. We better get on that, hadn't we? Strategic points. Let's go grab some.
My faith is my shield. Follow my lead.
So there is a warp storm inbound to the Tartarus system.
For the
and the
glory
warp
of the Emperor.
Is a complicated
not
old
fail.
thing, really.
Agreed. We
It
shall
is
know
basically
no fear.
hell.
Follow my lead.
As in, if you've ever watched the movie Event Horizon,
For terror.
that's
and
kind
duty.
we're on that kind of track,
For
really.
terror.
Right, let's go
I
up
shall
here, get
not
the
fail.
strategic point. There's another path down this way, but we're on the strategic point. Does this path lead anywhere? I don't think it does. But basically, the warp is a dimension
For the Emperor.
where time and space mean
I
absolutely
serve
nothing, and it's
mankind.
populated by demons, really, for lack of a better
shall
word.
not fail.
Most people call them demons,
I shall not fail.
but demons are, in 40k, a kind of like a reflection of the psyche, collective psyche of everything living in the galaxy. Basically, you got the physical world where all of this exists, and you've got the warp, which is almost like the spiritual world. It's okay. Right, if you've played Dragon Age, think the Fade. and you're basically there, more or less. The Fade basically kind of just rips off the warp from Warhammer Fantasy and Warhammer 40k. It's almost the same thing.
Yes, Lord. As you wish.
You know, it's populated by entities and spirits,
Yes, Lord.
both malign and benign. Mostly malign though. In this particular case, you need more requisite. Do I really? Okay, let's wait till we've got 100. There we go.
Build routine 721 initiated.
While the enemies of the Emperor still draw breath, there can
Right,
be
this
no
is a dead
peace.
end, isn't it? I'm not just assuming that. Yeah, it's a dead end. All right.
Follow my lead.
go
For
this
the
way.
honor of
Anyway,
the chapter.
the important thing about the warp is that it's how humans travel faster than light in the setting. They essentially open a portal to hell, fly the ship into it, and they pop out the other side.
I shall not fail.
And that's the most important use of it. It's also how the psychic chaps work, like Mordecai Toth here. He's a psyker, as is Isidore.
Venerate the
That's how psychers work. They sort of use the power of the warp. They tap into it in order to shoot people with mind bullets.
We are united in his service. Faith
And
duty.
the warp...
Orcs, attack! We are united in
The warp
his
is what's
service.
caused all this chaos nonsense. Because the warp and chaos are two very closely linked things.
They weren't attacking. They were fleeing.
Yes, they
What
were.
would inspire fear in an orc?
Well, a great many things, actually, to be fair, Isidore. I've seen orcs failing morale tests constantly in this campaign so far, but that wouldn't be very dramatic, would it?
see that it happens.
Walk
It's a
softly.
bit irritating the way they keep
and carry a big
spacing
gun.
themselves out here, but okay. Right. Anyway, that's all you need to know about the warp for now. But anyway, there's a warp storm coming, and warp storms are occasional examples of when the warp starts to bleed into reality a little bit, because for various reasons. And what a warp storm is coming, and all you really need to know for the purposes of the story is it's like a giant space hurricane, and it's coming. And if we don't get out of here, we'll be trapped on Tartarus.
Follow my lead.
Much as you might be trapped on an island with a
terror.
hurricane coming.
Agreed.
Right, gents, capture that for me. Let's see if I can do a bit more base building here. Okay, fast forward a bit, and I have built lots of base stuff, as you can see. Upgraded to the next tier of the HQ. We've got a machine cult, armory, sacred artifact, all the rest of it. The sacred artifact, as you can see, is this. It allows us to build apothecaries. It allows us to upgrade our commanders and give them more abilities and things like that. These are both pretty good. So let's queue up all threes. I already built an apothecary and I attached him to a squad somewhere around here. He's here somewhere. There he is. There's the little devil. There's the apothecary. He's a medic, basically. Increases the healing rate of everyone around him, which is good news. And yeah, I could probably make more. I can't remember whether or not they take up the population cap, though. So, anyway, as you can see, I've built more stuff too. Down here, I've got whirlwinds. I've got a couple of rocket launcher squads of marines. And a couple of dreadnoughts. These are Hellfire dreadnoughts. These are the shooty version of the dreadnought as opposed to the punchy version. And as you can see, they've got an assault cannon and a missile launcher, which you could upgrade to a twin-link las cannon if we had the Fortress Monastery HQ add-on, but I don't think we can get it in this scenario. Indeed, we cannot. However, regardless, I do believe we've got more than enough stuff now to carry on our exploration, I hope. So let's do that. Also, I made command groups as well. 1 is everything. 2 is all of the anti-tank units. These guys, you can use them against infantry and anti-tank, as it says in their tooltip thing, but they do have missile launchers, so I think it's handy to have them available just to quickly shoot at an enemy vehicle. And 3, which is the whirlwinds.
On
So,
alert, brothers. The enemy
without
must be
further
nearby.
ado,
Something is not right here. These orc bodies do not look like they were dispatched by Imperial hands. We must proceed with caution. For terror.
indeed.
For the Emperor. I shall not fail.
been quite a slow process building all this stuff up, to be honest with you, because I don't have much in the way of requisition income. I've only got 2 strategic points.
Perhaps we were mistaken about the presence of the forces of chaos.
Be it Eldar or Chaos, I will have answers either way. Press on.
The Eldar! Yes! Space elves. I'm not even joking.
Follow me into battle.
Okay, I see a problem now with my all my HQs running up to attack. When I've got whirlwinds firing everywhere. I tell you what, right, gentlemen, get back. We're going to attach you to squads instead,
I am ready.
so you're not running up into the face of everything.
By order of the Inquisition, I am taking command here. I
would like you to actually do it, Toth. Come on.
Agreed.
He doesn't want to do it for some reason.
You
You irritating little bastard. Come on.
Agreed.
Come on,
I
mate.
will crush the enemy beneath my boot. We think
Okay.
alike.
That seems to have worked.
Fear not,
All right.
Psycho.
Oh, and Isidore, you can jump into a squad as well.
With me,
Got a bit of a
brothers.
traffic jam here, haven't we? Oh, and this squad doesn't have a sergeant. Do any of the others not have sergeants? No, it's just that one. All right. Anyway,
Follow my lead for the glory of the Emperor.
for the glory of the Emperor. Let's capture
The
that.
Emperor.
Also, there's stuff behind us.
my lead.
Sneaky Eldar bastards.
Space Marines, advance.
Already damaged my whirlwind quite a bit, actually. That's just not on, you know.
For the glory of the
How many
Emperor.
more of you are there up here? Alright, okay. The
Follow my lead.
old strategic
I shall
point
not
listening
fail.
post thing took care of
For
him.
terror.
Good stuff.
We are united
Right.
in his service.
Alright, word of the Emperor our librarian's got now. All infantry near the librarian continue to take damage but will not die while the ability is active. Good stuff. Additionally... where is he? We can resolve... Yeah, that's a psychic power that the Inquisitor have. Basically damages the morale recovery rate of a targeted squad. Very good. And old Gabe here, he's not really doing much other than, I think, providing an aura buff possibly now. Let's capture this. Move slowly and methodically forward. Actually, to be fair,
Defending objective.
I also noticed that probably because of the widescreen mod, we're now technically off the edge of the minimap. All right, we've captured it. Very good.
Glory of the Emperor.
And
I
okay,
serve mankind.
I see what they're doing. They're bringing their transports over here because, of course, they can fly.
Follow me into battle.
Tell you what, gents,
Faith
you
and
stay
duty.
here. I think this turret can kill all of them. It will need repairing, though, and what I'm going to do...
Here to serve. Here to serve. I exist to serve.
Let's
As
bring
you
some
wish.
servitors down and build a bunch of turrets here, because clearly this is going to be an ongoing problem. Alright, that's much better. 3 turrets, and just for gits and shiggles, I laid down a bunch of minefields too. And now I've got the servitors on the way up here to build a listening post at this strategic point, and I think let's just carry on now.
We shall know no fear.
Sitting around waiting for long enough. Ooh,
Agreed.
negative cover. Don't like being in here.
Confirmed.
I also don't like the fact that my bloody whirlwinds are leading the charge here. This is stupid. This is very stupid.
I am the instrument of his will.
Being bottlenecked like crazy here.
We are united in his service.
Ooh, it's freezing up for some reason.
Dark Reapers, fall back. We need Rhino transport tanks. Faith and duty. They will allow us to get through unscathed and attack the Dark Reapers on those cliffs above. I will see
You say that, Gabe, and we could build Rhino transports, aka one of the most useless units in
Rhino
this game.
transports are now available. Build them
Or-
like a machine cult.
We could just blow them up with our whirlwinds. That's also an option.
Yes, it will be done.
We send the old scouts forward
The
here a
Emperor
little bit.
protects. The Emperor protects. Hold formation and attack.
These are sniper rifles.
On my way. It will be done. Attack, men. Attack. The Emperor protects.
Very good.
On my
Are there
way.
any more? You'd think there may be one or two more up
I
here.
will see that it happens.
Yep.
Whirlwind artillery tank here. How can I serve?
2 sniper rifles, those pretty good. I can just kill 2 of them straight up. Just take a while to reload, though. These guys are effective against heavy infantry, and you may have noticed that the scouts are light infantry, which is why this is working out so well. Lovely.
What is it you desire? On my way.
I haven't actually managed to remember to research the infiltration thing on the scouts. I should probably do that.
It will be done. Hold formation and attack. Hold formation and attack.
I need to get you to the apothecary soon, mate, if you don't die.
I will see
Job
that
done.
it happens. I will see that it
Rhinos.
happens. I will see
Really?
that it happens.
Honestly?
On my way.
Yeah, let's get you guys back.
Whirlwind artillery tank here.
We shall know no fear. For the
Right, there's
Emperor.
a strategic point up here. We should probably grab that. I think that would be an exceedingly good idea.
Whirlwind artillery tank here.
For the Emperor.
Lead the way, Mr. Dreadnought.
We are united in his service. Space Marine.
A Viper. Eldar skimmer, fast attack unit. Can jump over stuff with its skimmer ability. It's now dead. These are warp spiders. These are effective against regular infantry. And they can teleport. They are themselves heavy infantry as well, so really you want to be killing them with like plasma guns and stuff, but
Faith and duty.
we seem to be getting the job done just fine.
Follow me into battle. By my command.
Get rid of their listening shrine. Where's the rest of my army? What are you guys doing?
Take and hold.
What a mess. Total traffic jam. Hellfire Dreadnought's pretty damn useful, you know. I previously have not built them awfully that often. I think I always just preferred the punchy ones because they're cooler, but in this game, at least, the old Hellfire Dreadnought's pretty damn good. Of course, there isn't such a thing as a Hellfire Dreadnought anymore these days in the tabletop game. It's just a Dreadnought with various weapon options. And then you get Venerable Dreadnoughts, which are covered in Gothic script and gold trim and stuff like that, and they have slightly better stats. And you get Ironclad Dreadnoughts, which have loads of extra armor and are more difficult to kill. And you get Redemptor Dreadnoughts, which are really big ones. And then you get Leviathan Dreadnoughts, which are also very big ones, but just slightly different. And you get Contemptor Dreadnoughts, which are sort of like fully articulated ones, which are, instead of just sort of a big stumpy box on legs, it's like it's got actually knees and joints and legs and things like that, and arms. And it's sort of tall and thinner looking. It's from the Horus Heresy, 10,000 years before the events of this game, and it's a very rare ancient piece of technology. However, they're also very, very good on the tabletop, which is why you see an awful lot of people using them, in spite of the fact that they're supposed to be very rare. That's a rant for another day.
I will do as you ask.
Right, let's upgrade that. Does this actually lead anywhere? Probably should have scouted that out, you know. Let's just quickly make sure there's not like a Webway portal up here or something. Because that'd be embarrassing if there was.
faith and duty.
Oh, I just heard something.
By my command, attack.
Okay, I have a feeling I'm going to need...
Mankind.
Oh, no, okay, right, this does actually go somewhere. Interesting. We've got multiple paths here then, basically. Could carry on going this way. And there's also this way.
Shall not falter.
There we go, frag grenades for you. Dead.
Confirm.
Well, we might as well keep going.
For the glory of the Emperor.
For the glory of the Emperor, indeed.
We are united in his service.
Emperor's a bit of a git, if you ask me personally, but...
Follow me into battle.
That makes me a heretic, I suppose. Why is the Whirlwind leading the way again, chaps? Those were Howling Banshees. They're a very good close combat unit. They're all dead now, unfortunately, though, because they're light infantry and they charged a bunch of heavy bolters. And these are Guardians, which are basically just the bog basic Eldar infantry unit. All these ones, like the Howling Banshees and the Warp Spiders and the Dark Reapers and so on and so on, they are what are called Aspect Warriors. They are Eldar who are devoted to the path of the warrior, so to speak. And they represent the various different aspects of their war god, Calum En Chicane. And just their sort of art of war in general, really. Whereas those little Guardian fellas, they're effectively militia, really. They're butchers and bakers and candlestick makers from the Eldar craft worlds who sort of don armor and go into battle as sort of support troops. Let's go capture that. But the thing about Eldar is they're like, they're not unlike elves in the Lord of the Rings. They are just sort of a lot more graceful and different to humans. They sort of they look at humans, as you can imagine, quite primitively. There's yes, the primitive, stupid humans, and with their dreadnoughts causing their traffic jams and line of sight issues. How primitive indeed.
Knowledge is power. Hide it well.
While the enemies of the Emperor still draw breath, there can be no peace.
But an Eldar Guardian, your butcher, baker, candlestick maker, is still far more capable a soldier than your average Imperial Guard conscript. Purely because that's what Eldar are like. Bunch of space elves, basically. Tolkien elves in space, although they're a lot meaner than Tolkien elves. I don't really... I think Elrond, basically, but worse. They don't just sneer at humans; they horribly kill them. Why do we have this one random?
Only degrees of guilt.
Oh, what is going on with the pathfinding on this map? My God, it's really bad. It's really bad. Right.
Yes, Lord.
Let's keep going. Keep capping these points. I now have 6,500 requisitions, so I suppose it's just quickly becoming a kind of a non-issue, really. But I'd like to do it just for the sake of forming good habits. Bloody hell, hello.
We are united in his service.
And the thing about the Eldar is they're extremely long-lived, as well, as you can imagine. Which means that someone might be a butcher, baker, or candlestick maker today, but last century they might have been an aspect warrior. They might have been a howling banshee or something. So
the orcs and Eldar are not in league together.
When one enemy attacks another, it does not mean they aren't in league. Just that they are living up to their lack of honor.
And those who lack honor deserve death.
Advance. Get rid of that support platform. There we go. Those guys have just killed a warlocks. They're psychic Eldar dudes. Hello, orcs. Yes, I am pretty much just content to bombard you from a distance. Right. We have a path leading up this way, which is actually where we need to go. But there's also this sort of secondary objective here,
which
we might as well deal with.
We are united in his service. For the honor of the chapter.
Oh, hello. More Eldar.
Shall not falter. I serve mankind.
Again, glad I picked heavy bolters for the infantry. So we've lost a guy in that squad.
Agreed. We are united.
You'll notice I'm not using the psycho powers very much. The reason for that is because I'm a shite player, basically. I can't micromanage to save my life. Besides, we haven't really needed it so far.
For the Emperor. Follow my lead. Space Marines, advance.
I do like whirlwinds.
Attack.
I like artillery in general in RTS games, honestly.
My aim shall not falter.
Anything that allows me to hit people from long range and causes massive explosions is good in my book.
My aim shall not falter.
I'm a very turtly RTS player, it has to be said. I like making multi-layered, ridiculous defenses. Gosh, when I played Age of Empires back in the day, you should have seen the nonsense I got up to. Building multiple layered fortresses with walls and several castles and stuff.
Shall not falter. I shall not fail.
Lovely. Wouldn't be a terrible idea to set up a second base here, actually.
While the enemies of the Emperor still draw breath, there can be no peace.
Here to serve.
Upgrade that. Get the servitors up here in preparation. In fact, I think I might set up a second base here, in case I run into something really nasty up here. As I said, it's been a long time since I played this campaign. I have played it before, but it's been such a long time I don't actually really remember what's ahead of us. So, in case we run into something absolutely horrific up here, it would be nice to have a base down here I can quickly reinforce my units from.
Position secure.
So, very good. Just in time for the servitors to arrive. Marvellous.
I will do
I
as
am
you
the
ask.
instrument of his will.
Oh,
The Emperor
dudes.
protects.
Oh, it's because they have one guy stuck in the middle here. Yeah, pathfinding in this game drives me a little bit bonkers sometimes, I will freely admit.
Die for the Emperor than live for yourself.
Here to
Well,
serve. Yes, Lord.
let's plonk down a second one here. There we go.
Beware the alien,
Protocol.
the mutant, the heretic.
Get you immediately upgraded. What annoys me now is that the Eldar haven't attacked here again. Right after I built my wonderful minefields and turrets. It proves to be a complete waste of time.
The battlefield awaits.
I think Eldar. I suppose that's smart of
Here
them
to
though, right?
serve.
You see the enemy building a bunch of turrets and minefields, you don't attack there again, obviously. Brilliant. Okay, well this has gotten started. Let's carry on exploring while that
For the
happens.
glory of the Emperor.
I say exploring, let's continue to unscrew this traffic jam we find ourselves in.
Space
Webway
Marines,
gate.
advance.
Webway gates are gates to the Webway, funnily enough. And the Webway is a
Of the Emperor.
network of... you know how we talked about the warp was kind of like an alternate dimension of like psychic rubbish? The Webway is a little bit like that, but it's a little less crazy and weird. It's essentially like a network of tunnels that exist in a separate dimension that span pretty much the entire galaxy. They were built by the ones called the Old Ones at the dawn of time. And the Eldar use them via entering them via those webway gates to navigate the galaxy. They don't jump into portals to hell through the warp like the humans do. They actually go through the webway. And there are some webway gates that are little ones like this that infantry can move into and out of. And there are some webway gates which are gigantic and you can move an entire starship through. So
We shall know no fear. I shall not fail. Follow me into battle. aim shall not falter. Faith and duty. Confirmed.
Kill them all. Also, this whirlwind is going to die pretty soon, I think.
By my command. Attack.
Under fire.
By my command. Attack. I
Very good, everybody.
Follow my lead.
Epoxy Eldar stand no chance.
A secondary base near this location will give us a forward position with which to engage the enemy.
I am one step ahead of you, Gabe.
Yes, most beneficent
Yes, indeed.
one.
Let's get a barracks.
I will do as you ask.
Unless he means this location, in which case, sod it.
We are united in his service.
Whirlwind, why must you lead the way? Why?
Aim shall not falter.
I like how we politely wait for them to get back up again before we carry on shooting them. It's very strange. And what is this we have found? Everything's been burned to ash.
We are united
or something.
in his service.
How very odd. At least we've got a bit more room to maneuver out in this wasteland. Come on, everyone, file out. Come on. Now I know how the Persians felt at Thermopylae.
I await your instructions.
Oh, I heard teleporty noises. There we go. Dude, just get... It's gonna... Yeah, it's dead. Whatever. Maybe a good time to get some smiting done, actually. I'm beginning to get the feeling you guys should target these webway gates. Stop people coming out of them.
We shall know no fear.
Come on.
For the glory
Kill it.
of the Emperor.
So the really irritating thing about these webway gates is that in later battles, and certainly in the multiplayer, the Eldar have the ability to make those invisible. And so in the multiplayer specifically, you can get some really funky shenanigans when you're playing against or as the Eldar, where you can build a webway gate in your opponent's base, and it's invisible, so they don't know it's there until you've teleported an entire army into the back of his base. Very annoying to deal with. Absolutely hilarious to pull off yourself.
We are united in his service. Agreed.
Right, is this epic battle now concluded? Possibly?
For the honor of the
Looks like it might be. Let's go and investigate whatever this is.
For the glory
Oh, look.
of the Emperor.
Chaos Rhino. Well, we found evidence.
I shall not fail. Faith and duty. The Emperor protects.
Get Gabe up here. It might trigger
We are
actually.
united in his service.
What is it you desire?
Maybe I need to get the Inquisitor up here as well.
I am ready to pass judgment.
Okay, come on. Any Eldar webway gates that line my path, bring the Force Commander and the Librarian. Right, here's the door.
An open mind is like a
Get over here,
fortress
mate.
with its gates unbarred
Where are you?
and unguarded.
The battlefield awaits.
There we go. Any minute now. Look how much of the map we've not explored. Destroy any Eldar webway gates that line your path. Destroy all the webway gates. Okay, apparently we've not destroyed all the webway gates. Brilliant.
Faith and duty.
How anticlimactic again.
Faith and duty. For the Emperor.
Alright, well, I guess I'm going to go hunt for
know
webway
no
gates.
fear.
No, I don't want to set my rally point from the HQ up there. Thank you very much. No. Good grief. Alright, I found this other bit over here.
For the
I guess this
Emperor.
must be snow rather than
For the
ash.
Emperor.
Perhaps. Stupid whirlwind. Driver reverse. Come on. Oh, God. Stop breathing up, game. Scaring the bejesus out of me every time you do that. Come on, everyone.
We are united.
I don't know what is wrong with these whirlwinds, but they just insist on, like, kamikaze charging. Right into the front of everything. I've already built a spare one to replace the one that got blown up earlier, and looks like I'm going to have to do it again.
Space Marines, advance!
There we go. Finally.
So the good Inquisitor senses no chaos here. How fortunate for the Imperium that such keen-eyed eagles stand vigil over her gates.
The shade!
What dark crafts have these Eldar invoked?
None. At least not here. The servants of chaos sacrificed this poor guardsman themselves.
To what end, Isidore?
I know not. I believe the altar is a marker, a waypoint, in a map that leads elsewhere. Someone defaced many portions of text. Regardless of what chaos seeks here, the altar requires a sacrifice of blood, or more likely, a life.
Brother Isidore, you have an hour to study the altar. Document everything as is our tradition. Then burn it, lest its taint infect us all.
But Gabriel, there is much to learn from here. We should not be too eager to...
Learn what? Chaos does not teach. It misleads and it betrays. There is nothing to learn here, save for our next course. These transports have been damaged somehow. Make the repairs, and be quick.
Well, brother Isidore, what betrayal have you wrought? Disabling your own vehicles? Harboring artifacts despite your good captain's instructions?
Gabriel does not understand. He does not appreciate the significance of this.
No, but I do.
Quiet, heretic. Once I find what you seek, I will use it against you for the glory of the Emperor and my brothers.
You wish to deal me a harsh blow, to prove your strength and worth. Well, then come to me. I wait at Mount Korath.
Have no fear, sorcerer. I will be there.